Hello, everybody, and welcome to the table. Today, we're taking a look at a new knife from Great Eastern Cutlery. So, this right here is the number 72, the Cody Scout. And so, this particular model right here is the 72 in Chechen Rosewood. So, we can take a look at this one and we'll make some comparisons because when I bought this knife, I knew what I was getting. I know it's more of a full size lockback knife, but it did remind me of another earlier Great Eastern Cutlery release, and as well as another knife I'm going to show you in a minute. But let's take a quick look at this knife right here. So what we have is this gorgeous clip point blade with a nice polish on it, has those Northfield markings on there. So it's almost like a mirror polish. You can kind of see my cameras in the reflection there. And of course, this one being the Chechen Rosewood, we can see a very nice grain. And honestly, fit and finish on this knife is really, really nicely done. All of the grain is very nice. The shield is nice and smooth. The pins themselves are smooth as well. We do have a little lanyard hole here at the back. And of course, this is a lockback action. So that means that opening and closing the knife is going to have no issues whatsoever. This particular instance of the knife, there's no up and down or side to side blade play. It's all very solid. So that's always a good thing to say. But really, really nice knife and a really good example of the Cody Scout. Of course, the hard thing with the Scout, and as well as any other Great Eastern Cutlery knife, is just getting your hands on one. So these ones, as far as I know, are pretty much gone from dealers, but you might still find some still for retail if you get lucky. Generally, the price for these comes around $130, but you will find a lot of markup at certain dealers, a lot of markup if you get them on the secondhand market, places like eBay and stuff like that. So you might end up paying closer to $200, unfortunately, for something that's really quality built, American made, very, very nice knife overall. But like I was saying, this knife did remind me of an earlier Great Eastern Cutlery release. So let me pull one of those out right here. So this right here is the number 83 Tascosa lockback. So let me pop this out. And this is a smaller knife, but immediately when I had the Cody Scout in hand, it reminded me quite a bit of this knife right here. So let's lay these two guys out side by side and you'll see what I mean. Now, this one is in Mexican Bocote. So they are both wood handled, but of course, a slightly different grain, different color, as you can see. But the Tascosa lockback is just kind of a downsized version of the Cody Scout. And I'm not super duper familiar with Great Eastern Cutlery and all of their patterns. So I don't know if there's a size up from the Cody Scout if you want an even larger knife. But I will tell you what it did remind me of is a knife I have right here on the table. This is also American made, really, really nicely done. So this right here, believe it or not, comes from none other than Cutco. So we can see a Cutco lockback right here. This is the model 1882. And this one is also in a beautiful rosewood handle here with a polished blade. And they called this model the bullwhip. So if you take a look at that marking on the blade right there, we can see the bullwhip sign, the logo. Really nicely done, but this one is a hand filler. This is a big knife. So let's lay these three out side by side. So we have, it's like the Goldilocks knife. The Cody Scout is right in the middle. It's not too small. It's not too big. It's just right size for your hand. And so let me pull out a ruler real quick and we will see what we got with the size. So with the Cody Scout right here, we have a blade length. Let's take a look of about from tip to bolster, about 3¼ inches long. And now if we're only measuring sharpened edge, it's pretty much right at the 3-inch blade length mark. Overall length is pretty much right at 7 inches long. And so that puts it right into the territory of a lot of very popular everyday carry knives. So I think the Cody Scout here is really a winner. Everyone that I've seen that's gotten one has been very pleased with them. The only nitpicks people make is that sometimes there's a little bit of up and down or side to side blade play on the knife when it's open, but those are all really, I would imagine, minimal issues with this knife. They released this one in several different variants with the different covers. They had like the green bone and the micarta. This is just the one that I was lucky enough to get because, like I was saying, when you buy Great Eastern Cutlery, a lot of your purchase is going to be luck of the draw. What you just happen to get and are able to get. And so luckily, this was one of the lower priced variants of the knife. So this particular one was about $130, I wanted to say. But again, depending on where you buy it, you could pay as much as $175, $185. And if you look on eBay right now, you're going to be paying north of $200 for the Cody Scout. But this is one of these classic designs that I really do like. That clip point blade right there, just very nicely done. And that polish, of course, is going to eventually go away once you use the knife and it gets that nice, beautiful finish and patina on there. But I think that straight out of the box, this one is definitely a winner. So really the only issue with anything Great Eastern Cutlery, like I was saying, is just getting your hands on one. So in my case, I was just lucky enough. And in the future, I can give you guys tips if you need tips on how to actually pick up one of these for a somewhat decent price. Because I think I found one of the tricks to picking one up when they literally sell out in seconds. But this is something that I really like to be able to share with you guys. I don't share too many of my not older, my traditional knives on this channel because I know it's hard for you to get them. So I don't want to be frustrating people by showing things off. But I really think it's worth the comparison here between the Tascosa Lockback, the number 83, and the Cody Scout right here. So look at those two side by side. Just super, super similar patterns, similar blade shape, just really downsized. So that Tascosa, it's very pocket friendly, very lightweight. Because I do know that the Cody Scout right here still is also lightweight. It comes in at less than 3 ounces. So it's a very, very lightweight knife for what you get in its size. But it is slightly more hand-filling than the lockback, than the number 83 is. And the number 83 is still very pocket-friendly. Whereas the bullwhip right here, as you can see, much larger in hand. This one is just a real beauty to have on hand to make some comparisons. Another beautiful U.S.-made knife from, of all places, like I was saying, Cutco. They're more known for kitchen cutlery, but in some cases they have some really cool stuff that they released in yesteryear. And I say yesteryear because they don't do too many cool things like this anymore. But it's really worth a comparison with this nice clip point blade. So let me put those two side by side and you can kind of check that out. Really cool. So both are rosewood. I don't know if this is specifically a Chechen rosewood on the Cutco, but they just said rosewood covers. And am I saying that right? Chechen rosewood? I hope so. But yeah, I really just wanted to kind of share this with everybody, and I hope you all enjoyed watching. But if you have any questions about Great Eastern Cutlery or how you can get your hands on one of these with a slightly more reliable method, let me know, and I'll share maybe a video or something to try and share my secrets at least, even if that means in the long run that I don't get as many knives. It's really not as hard as you think. But I did find one way that kind of does work, and I was able to get me this Cody Scout right here, which I'm super proud to now own. So hope you all have an excellent day, and I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.